I'm not going to be long on this, but I want to say this. I was debating about whether I was going to say this because I typically talk about things like this on my story. I don't talk about stuff like this on my live. But I'm going to go ahead and say this. When you come in here, make sure you click the like button. Um, I'm actually, I got caught in the rain. I was soaked and I was, looking at some things online. So I'm going to try not to let the camera move around because the girl ain't, I ain't got on a feather right now. Um, we've already had two deaths, two deaths, and it's not even October yet. You know, they really pulling out all the stops. We've had someone to die um, on the Republican side, and we've had someone to die on the Democrat side. And let's be clear, these murders, like tens of thousands of people, are killed every day. Sonya Massey is not the only black woman that has probably been killed at the hands of a police officer that didn't deserve to die. You know, and with the little white boy who did what he did to Donald Trump, y'all cannot convince me that somebody was not in that child ear manipulating that child. And we don't, a lot of us don't have no sympathy for the white boy because of how we are taught to look at white people. But that boy was 20 years old. And I'm not close with a lot of Caucasian people, but that was a 20-year-old little boy. And I know somebody got in his head and put them cookies in his head and got him to do that. And, I don't know if he knew he was going to die and he was like, it was a suicide mission, like when they ran into the Twin Towers. Or if, he thought he wasn't going to get killed, if they lied and told him they wasn't going to kill him, and then they went on ahead and killed him. But with this Sonya Massey thing, watching the video and seeing how it happened, the way that this narrative was spent is really giving me George Floyd narrative. It's like it's giving me race baiting. And this really this upsets me because nobody's paying attention to how demon the Democratic Party race baits us. Trump doesn't like you. Trump doesn't like you people. And then the Democratic Party conveniently is the first people to speak out. I I need some of y'all to watch this series on Netflix that Will Smith hosts, and it's called the 14th Amendment. The 14th Amendment. And in one of the series, Will Smith says, maybe it's not Will Smith, but one of the people say that the powers that be, these people who have the delegate votes, the electoral college votes, these Freemasons, these secret societies, the NAACP, all of these different entities, these conglomerate entities, these forces that, create our societal structure and govern our societal structure, sometimes they will create a problem in order to get a reaction out of the people, in order to get the people to behave in a certain way. so that they can move their agenda forward. Sometimes they will literally create a problem. This man had on a body cam and he shot this woman in her face for nothing. You cannot tell me that this was not some type of secret society. They tapped his coat and they said, "Look, remember that favor? You owe us a favor. It's time for you to go down. It's your turn." They tapped him on the shoulder and said, "It's your turn. Play your part. This is what we've been grooming you for." Same thing that they did with that little white boy. This I'm not believing that someone is foolish enough to shoot a woman in her home with other officers present with a body cam on just out of pure ignorance, just out of pure racism and hatred. It's more to the story. Then Joe Biden's office spoke on it that fast, conveniently. Y'all speaking on it already. Now, let's unpack this and play this tape even further. Your front runner for the Democratic ticket is a black woman. How do you garner sympathy for a black woman who's running for president? What's the best way? Now, when Kamala gets on the mic and speak, her talking point is going to be Sonya Massey. For Sonya Massey, and y'all, she's going to pull y'all little puppet strings. It's giving sacrifice. It's giving sacrifice. If ain't nobody else gonna say it, I'ma say it. Just like what it gave with him. Just like what it gave with the little Matthew boy. It's giving sacrifice. What better way for Kamala to try to ensure her being a front runner on the Democratic Party and possibly ensure her winning the election? These Freemasons and these secret society folk, they ain't no joke. They ain't no joke. This ain't no joke. This serious. And it's sad. And they just out here pulling y'all little puppet strings. Now, I heard what Candace Owens said. And y'all, Candace Owens has said some horrible things about trans people. Horrible things about trans people. Candace Owens have said some horrible things about black people. But I would be lying if I said she didn't make no sense. I would be lying if I said that woman didn't make absolutely any sense. I play the whole tape. I listen to both sides. I listen to the plaintiff and the defendant. I listen to the Democrats and the Republicans. I listen to the gays and the straights. I listen to the cis and the non-binary. I listen to the black and I listen to the white. I listen to the old and I listen to the young. I'm trying to display wisdom like Solomon, maybe a little better. But I'm trying to hear all sides, and I don't want to close my my ears and close my eyes and not be able to hear the truth simply because it's uncomfortable and I'm caught up in my feelings and I'm caught up in my emotions and it's causing me to not to think rationally and logically and not to consider all of the factors. And this something is not clean in the water. Something does not smell right. Something does not feel right. This is already a political story. This is already a big story. And let's be clear, just like I told y'all the other day about Claudette Colvin, who was on that bus and refused to give up her seat, but they chose to talk about Rosa Parks. I'm sure that Sonya Massey is not the only black woman that's been killed unjustly in the past couple of weeks. But this narrative does fit the agenda that the Democratic Party have been trying to push. Now, all of a sudden, since Kamala Harris is on the ticket and Joe Biden has rescinded his position and he's not going to run, and Kamala Harris is on the ticket, now all of a sudden we're highlighting the death of a black woman shot by a police officer. Come on, y'all. Really? It don't seem just a little bit too convenient? Not at all. So we could see when it's staged, when it's dealing with white people. But we can't see when it's staged when it's dealing with black people. We can't see when the Matrix is choosing to highlight a particular narrative because it fits their agenda. We can't see that. They're exploiting her narrative because this is going to help Kamala Harris. I'm sure this is not the first black woman to die this year unjustly. But now, all of a sudden, since a black woman is on the ticket to run for president, they finna... I'm going to let it go. I'm not about to talk about it no more. I've said enough. I've said enough. I've said enough. I'm going to leave it alone. I'm just going to sit there right there. I also agree with Candace when Candace said that more white people get killed than what they're willing to admit. More white people are dying than what they're willing to admit are dying. And the reason why they don't talk about how many whites are killed by police officers is because it doesn't feed the narrative. I can believe that more Caucasian people get killed. I can believe that they're spinning a narrative that white people don't get killed by police and they don't get shot by the police. I could believe that that's a narrative that they're spinning because I know in real life, white people have bar fights. They shoot at each other. They kill each other just like every other race. And I don't believe that if a police officer feel unsafe, he's gonna allow himself to be compromised just because of a person's skin color. I do think that it does not complement their narrative to point out how many Caucasian people, because if they showed us Caucasian people constantly being killed by the police officers, then Caucasian people would not feel safe and they would be on black people's side. So why would they show us Caucasian people often being killed by the cops? Why would they paint that narrative? Why would they do that? They don't want Caucasian people and black people to unite. They don't want Negroes and Caucasians to unite. They don't want the people to come together. They want to keep us divided. So they're going to spin this narrative of the woe is me Negro, of the woe is me black person, of the black person that's always in jeopardy, of the black person that's always in trouble, and the white privilege. They're going to spin that narrative. But if it was so easy for white people, why Caucasian people tap dance harder than we do? Why Caucasian people, like so many of them, all of the ones I know, all the ones I know, I don't break the rules. That's the law. You're breaking the law. I'm not going to do that. I'm breaking the law. That's illegal. Those are the white people I know. I know a lot of white people that are like that. Nah, no. You know, when I was out there in my prostitution days and I was swinging around the pole and stuff, I knew some white folks that didn't care, that was breaking the law left and right. But you know, since I ain't been out there in the streets like that, and you know, you're more often to hear a person that looks like me say "fuck the police." You don't really hear white folks say "fuck the police." And the reason why is because they know the police ain't gonna play with their ass either. So, you know, some of this stuff is propaganda, and it's my heart goes out to Sonya, but I'm not going to get so caught up in Sonya's narrative that I am going to erase the fact that there are probably countless women every day who are being forced to do sexual favors for the police, raped, beat, murdered, and their narrative, it just wasn't the one. Wasn't the one that was going to push our agenda. It's like, you know, we think that they're putting Sonya Massey's story in our face because they care about Sonya Massey. They don't care about her. The media doesn't care about her. The government doesn't care about her. They don't care about her, but they want you to care. They counting on you to care so that they could use your emotions to manipulate you. They're exploiting this woman's death to control us. They literally playing in our face. Yeah. You know how many black women have probably been wrongfully killed, raped, kidnapped? You know how often this is happening? All of a sudden, conveniently, when Kamala getting ready to be on the Democratic ticket, all of a sudden, now we finna center this black woman who was murdered. Now her story is important because you got a woman who identifies as black on the Democratic ticket. It serves your agenda. They don't, Michael Jackson said, all I want to say is they don't really care about us. They don't care. They don't care. They want you to be in your feelings. They care about you being in your feelings because they could use that to manipulate the situation. This is an energy grab. This is a harvest. This to get y'all to be so gung ho for Kamala to be president that the ones who actually have the power to select her, because let's be clear, you can get out there and vote all you want. This ain't no election, it's a selection. There ain't no election, it's a selection. Instead of using our emotions, we need to demand change or no vote. These things do happen every day and they never care, right? They always drop a statement. We sick of statements. That part. Yeah, this is the truth. This is the truth. Then the Democratic, they jumped on this because they said, ooh, because this has been the Democratic whole campaign. Listen to the slogans, listen to the commercials. This has been their whole campaign. You black people, you know that Donald Trump doesn't care about you. You know that Donald Trump doesn't like your kind. Donald Trump doesn't like you people. Now they're going to say, look at what happened to Sonya Massey, a black woman who was murdered in her home. Now, conveniently, maybe the cop is a Republican. This is what Donald Trump is going to let happen to you. This is what Donald Trump got planned for you. Put Kamala Harris in office. She's a black woman who cares. She cares about black women and she'll defend black women. So, that's sad that they're exploiting this woman's death and using this woman's death like this. It's sad. And then I said that I thought the white boy was a sacrifice for the Republican ticket for Trump to win. So now y'all done came and y'all like this smell fishy. When the George Floyd thing happened, it was holes in the story and some of the stuff looked at fishy because what was crazy was there were people standing around filming George Floyd being murdered, but nobody had the guts to run up on that officer. Nobody had the guts while he had his knee on George Floyd's neck to come up behind him and kabuki dive on this nigga neck. Because let me tell you something. If I would have been around when George Floyd, if I would have saw that, and I'm a whole trans person, if I would have saw that man with his knee on George Floyd's neck and George Floyd would have been crying for his mama saying he can't breathe, let me tell you something, I got chills all over my body. I would have started a riot. I would have jumped off a car. I would have went behind the car and dove on that nigga neck. I'm talking about the white person because we all niggas to me. Bitch, I would have went behind the car. I don't understand how that happened with George Floyd and nobody intervened. Y'all just watched the man die. And this giving me sus. Like something about this is giving me sus. Like this was planned. Now, I bet you they're going to take care of her family. Bet you they about to raise some money for her family. Just like they did for George Floyd family. giving me sus. Something don't smell right. Something ain't right in the Kool-Aid. Pay the family off to get the family to be quiet. Now I'm gonna go down this rabbit hole and see, learn more about. I want to learn more about as much as I can learn about Thomas Matthew Crooks, and the amazing thing that his last name was Crook, like that's crazy. And I want to learn more about Sonya Massey and see how they showed up, like their social medias, and like see if I could learn more about them from the content that they put out, but something don't smell right about this. Why, out of all of the people who are murdered, all of the people who get killed, all of the attacks that happen to us, why are y'all using this narrative? Like, what made this narrative? Like, what made this the one? Then last election, it was George Floyd. So this election, because y'all trying to get this black woman in office, y'all gonna highlight the black woman. You gonna highlight Sonya, and then Kamala gonna be able to use that in all her talking points to get black folks and sympathetic white folk that want to be down, who don't want to feel guilty. Awaken your intimate intuitive powers, allowing you to receive and interpret messages from the spirit world with greater clarity and accuracy. Subscribe and enjoy yourself. This is an amazing YouTube channel. Great content and positive energy. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. Thank you for encouraging people to like it. Sis, the need to feel safe will destroy our VOM. What is VOM? Oh, will destroy our community. The need to feel safe will destroy our community. Yeah. Oh, they playing on it. They playing on it. And I wasn't gonna go live. I wasn't gonna talk about this. And this is what I noticed with a lot of content creators is this is why I don't take stock in a lot of what content creators out there do, because look at the celebrities. Like, I agree when Tasha K said celebrities, they're not celebrities. Celebrities don't exist no more. You know what I was getting ready to say? I had to catch myself. I'm trying not to cuss as much. But I don't have no respect for celebrities no more. I don't have I never really had respect for the government. I'm the bloggers, I'm starting to have less respect for y'all. Cause y'all had an opportunity, like y'all want to focus on the celebrities and y'all want to give celebrity gossip, cause y'all just concerned about a check too. So y'all just as bad. Don't nobody really care enough to say, you know what? Let me come back. Let me double back to this bag. Let me double back to this bag. Nothing but a bunch of cowards hiding behind phones on this internet. Have us out here marching and rallying and risking our life and risking our freedom and risking our health, risking our families, risking it all. And the only thing most of y'all concerned about is a check. But I know I got family members and loved ones who legit is about to be hurt and devastated because they finna keep putting this propaganda in our face. They finna keep putting this stuff in our face to try to get us to come out there and have us out there head first, have us out there moving like crash dummies. A lot of this manipulation is about to happen. Somebody said in the comment section that Candace Owens missed her calling to be a part of the circus. No, she didn't. It is the circus. It's a whole clown show. Barnum and Bailey's is a whole clown show. She ain't missed her calling. She ain't missed her clown. She is a part of the clown show. It's a whole clown show. And let me tell you something. I have a little bit more respect for her in the clown show because at least I don't think Candace Owens is making up stuff. I think that's genuinely where Candace Owens is. Because Candace Owens says things that often gets her fired. She gets fired. She be hooked up and she be in good with them. And then all of a sudden she'll say something and she'll get fired because she's not willing to go as far as they want her to go. So, I'm not a fan of her just like I'm not a fan of Kamala. But again, I'm not a fan of politicians. I'm not a fan of celebrities. I done lost a lot of respect for a lot of celebrities. I done lost a lot of respect for a lot of politicians because now you see who really care. They don't care about us. They care about their family. They care about their people. They care about their stuff. And let me tell you something. I'm not getting out there marching and rallying for no homophobic person, for no transphobic person, for no racist person. Bitch, I don't give a fuck if you look like me, you talk like me, you live right next door to me. If you was homophobic, if you was transphobic, if you was racist, if you was a bigot, if you was a misogynist, if you was if you was any of those things, get your life together before you try to judge me. You ain't finna manipulate me to get me out there to sticking my neck out for you. But I will speak up. I will speak the truth. I'm not afraid to speak the truth. And I'm not afraid to get out there and fight for something that I believe in. But I don't believe in the division. I don't believe in the exploitation. I don't believe in the lies. I don't believe in the classism. I don't believe in the elitism. I don't believe you're better than me because you have more resources and more access and more wealth than me. I don't believe that you're better than me because your skin is lighter than mine or your hair is a different texture. I don't believe that you're better than me because you were born heterosexual and you live your life as a man and I was born black and I live my life as trans. I don't think that you're better than me. I don't think that you're more than me. I don't think that you're more than me because you had this education and you went to this school and you could speak this language and that language. You're not better than me because right now, all we hear from you is crickets. You're quiet. You're a coward. How are you better than me? How are you more than me, coward? Bigot? How are you better than me? Why do I owe you loyalty? Why do I owe you respect, coward, bigot? I don't subscribe to that. No, I don't. I don't. Now, my heart goes out to Sonya Massey and my heart goes out to Matthew because that little white boy, 20 years old, was manipulated. Was manipulated. They brainwashed that little boy and sent him on that crash dummy assignment. And then they went up in this woman's house and they took her life. And I'm telling you, in my spirit, I believe. I don't think it was an accident from what you've seen from the cam. What it gives me is somebody, a higher ranking officer, tapped him on his shoulder. They came to him and they tapped him and they said, "Hey, remember that favor we did? Remember that secret that we've been holding for you? Remember that time we let you off the hook? Now it's time. We calling in that favor. When you go in this house, you know what you gotta do." I think these people literally be getting tapped on the shoulder. And I think higher up entities like the FBI or the CIA, they be saying, "Hey, look, we need you to do this, this, and this, and make it look like this, this, and this." Hey, how you doing? Mm-hmm. It's they get that tap on the shoulder and they say, "Hey, remember how we done let you off and how we been letting you slide? Now you know the higher ups, they need this. This what we gotta do." She seen the devil. That's why she said, "I rebuke you in the name of Jesus." And they say her last words was, "I'm sorry." She wasn't talking to that. She wasn't talking to that police officer. That was a spiritual complex. She was asking her creator for forgiveness so she could have peace. That wasn't for him. She was asking the creator, "Forgive me for what I done. I apologize." Yeah, I saw the video too, and right after I watched it, I went. I mean, literally, before the video was over, I was alive. This video is because of that. Cause y'all know I done went live already one time today, so I wasn't planning on coming back live. But I'm not going to be afraid to speak up and to cause us to look at the greater picture. How they are using her death. They don't care. They don't care about trans people. They don't care about black people. They don't care about poor and working class Caucasian people. They don't care about Asiatic people. They don't care about Latino people. They only care about what we can provide, what we can do. They see us as a commodity. We are a commodity. We are disposable commodity. And once they get AI where they need to get it, and they get these robotics where they need to get them, they're going to really show you shit from sugar. Once they through biding time, they're going to show you what it's really been, what it really is. They playing nice right now because they ain't got everything where they need it. Keep them calm for right now. Dred Scott decision. No black man got any rights. Any white man is bound to respect. It still exists. I remember that. You talking about that old case? Yeah, we really done then. That's why I already been talking to the ancestors. I ain't really trying to be in the physical realm that much longer. I'm baby. I be saying all the time. See, see, I do some of my 50s. Probably do a little. Probably, if the ancestors say, hey, we need you to stick around to about 56, 57, I probably try to do that. Probably try to do that much. I don't know if I could do that long though. I'm little. I'm 47. I say bitch. I'm being honest. I don't even need 10. That's why I'm glad I ain't got no children, like no babies or no grandbabies that I really, really got to be fighting to stick around for. Like, I understand people who bring children here. You want to see your grandbabies grow up. You want to be around and make sure that your children okay so you could pass down that wisdom to them. I get that. But y'all be tripping over Michael Jackson and Whitney Houston and all them talking about they left young. I think I said this before. If you leave and you don't know who you are and you didn't know the plan or the purpose for your life, then that's horrible. That's sad. But I'm not like I done seen a lot. I've seen a lot. I've seen a lot. And I do like, it's people in my life who I'm watching grow up and they like 11 years old now. If I get another 7, 8 years, I get to watch them turn 18, 19. I get to see them be grown. It's recycle me, reincarnate me. Let me go through the portal and I holla at y'all with a new body. If I have to be a human again, if I have to be a human. But if I could avoid being a human, if I could just be a bird watching y'all or a big old, orca or some type of dolphin or something, I'm cool with that. I ain't really got to be on land. Just keeping it real. Funny side, Bart, the robots in Korea are shutting down and self destructing. The robot said, I quit. I did. If I didn't have my son and mom, I'd say, God, take me, please. I'm tired. Right. Double tap the screen to click the like this video. Yeah. What they did in Washington D.C. They did already in the South to black elected officials, threw them right out their ears May 22nd, 1956, 1872. Yeah, you can reincarnate, but you still got those same traumas. You can only be an animal once. I mean, I know I could be a sea creature more than once. Yeah, well, I mean, I'm working on my trauma. Like, I'm healing from my trauma. I'm letting my trauma go. Like, I'm not holding on to it. That's why I'm just not in this place of wanting to pit black against white or wanting to pit men against women or wanting to, like, I'm not in that space of like pitting, like you're not going to manipulate me and put me out and have me out there on a limb. Like I said before, I don't see a lot of white people or Caucasian people that I feel like are trustworthy or that I feel like have not been completely brainwashed by this system, by this minority. It's a lot of white people that you cannot trust. It's a lot of Caucasian people that you cannot trust. But it's also a lot of black people that you cannot trust. It's also a lot of black people that are con artists and that's out here lying. And so it's like I just pace myself. I reserve my energy. I reserve my spirit. And I try the spirit by the spirit. And I try to give everybody the opportunity to show me who they are. And not necessarily when you show me who you are that first time, I believe it because I understand that we all working through trauma. We all dealing with trauma. We all living through trauma. So I am not a person who believes when a person show you who they are, believe them. I am a person that believes. I was looking at Armand Wiggins' video and he was talking about Nicki Minaj and JT. And I said, in the response, and I feel that this fits now. And I'm going to close out with this. Remember that song that Mariah Carey made called Butterfly? And Mariah Carey said, spread your wings, butterfly. And if it returns and then it's meant to be, people say, Maya Angelou said, when a person shows you who they are, believe them. But, and not to, no disrespect to Maya Angelou, but Maya Angelou word was not the Bible. The Bible is still missing the truth half of the time. So, nobody's word is the complete Bible, not mine's either. But this is what I'm going to say. We have to give people the room to figure out who they are. We have to give people the room to figure out what their priorities are. We have to give people the space to figure out where their loyalties lie. Sometimes you have to allow people the space and the room to bump their head up against a few walls to figure some things out. Some people are never going to figure it out. Some people are going to, unfortunately, forever be lost. But there will be those exemptions and those exceptions to the rules that when they bump their head up against that wall enough times, when they've had that space to figure out who they are and to fly and to be outside of your shadow, to experience life and to experience things, it's like the prodigal child. They're going to find their way home. Train them up in the way that they will go, and they're going to find their way back home. Allow people the space when someone hurts you, when someone lets you down, when someone does something that makes you feel like you can't trust them and like they don't have you as a priority and that they're taking you for granted. Give that person space. Give that person room. Give that person space to figure it out on their own. And if they're meant to be a part of your life, if they're meant to be a part of your journey, then they're going to figure out where their loyalty lie. They're going to figure out the things that should take precedence and priority in their life. They're going to figure that out. And then when they're done, they're going to realize, oh, that was a real one. I got my loyalties. I got my loyalty together. I got my priorities straight. But you are not a good teacher or a mentor. You are not a good support system if you don't allow your loved ones and the people that you care for the space to error, to folly, to misstep, to miss the mark. If you don't create the space for them to fumble, for them to get it wrong, if you don't create that space, then you are failing as a guide, as a parent, as a teacher, as a mentor, as an instructor. If you are not creating a safe space, even when it feels like they playing in your face, you have to have the grace and the wisdom and the self-awareness to say, hey, go figure that out, baby. I'ma still be over here working on this. Oh, I'm not gonna get distracted. I'm not lost. I know what I'm doing. A man, a woman. What Nicki Minaj did, what Nicki Minaj got in Denmark, she got what she deserved. What she did to Michael B. Jordan, tell him to change her name of his rum, to change her name of his rum. What is you talking about, George Trusty? So true. Check out this verse in the Bible, Matthew 19:12. God is basically talking about the LGBT community. The word used is eunuch for the LGBT. Oh yeah, I know about the eunuchs. There's a scripture that says, "Let not the eunuch say that I am a dry tree. For those who keep my commandments and choose the things that please me shall have a name greater than that of sons and daughters. They shall have an everlasting name that shall not be cut off." And, when we understand that, we understand that when you are moving according to the Spirit, you imprint upon people, you imprint upon your art, your creativity, your gifts. You as an artist, you can shape culture. You can shape society. You can shape civilization. You can your art can impact culture and impacts how people move and how people think and how people navigate society. That is life itself. That is, you have become a part of society, and so you don't have to bring life here in order to impact life. A man, a woman, you don't have to. Like, you can literally impact life. Look at Oprah Winfrey. For a long time, Tyler Perry didn't have no children, but Tyler Perry is shaping culture, shaping society. Oprah is shaping culture and shaping society. So you don't have to produce children. There's more than one way to be fruitful and multiply yourself. You can multiply yourself through your deeds and your actions. You can multiply yourself and your likeness through how you show up in society and how you impact the consciousness of others. You don't have to physically procreate in order to multiply. But that's lost on people because a lot of us have been conditioned to only use one side of our brain. A lot of us are continuing to eat lower vibrational foods that are not helping us to think with our full capacity. And so our brain has limited mobility. And then y'all call people who have the capability of using more of their brain crazy. Meanwhile, y'all are choosing between Donald Trump and Cameo Harris. I mean, Kamala. This is what you regular normal people. This is what y'all got. This your best. You normal folk. You folk who ain't crazy. This is what y'all got. What that woman said on that Tyler Perry movie, is this what we bought? Yeah, pretty much. Cameo got me finished. People really read the Bible bias. I hate when religious folk go against the LGBTQIA based on what they interpret and have biases on the Bible. Lord knows that book has been altered. And let's be clear, it's a sin to eat seafood. It's a sin to have tattoos. It's a sin to have sex on your cycle. These are abominations. People do that every day. I told a melanated lady I wasn't voting. She said, "You better vote for Cameo and that she gonna pray for me." She said, "You better vote for," she told you to vote for Cameo. I know that's right. Cause they be serious. They be serious, honey. They be serious. They be serious. It's serious. It's serious. It's serious. It's serious for them. They be invested in the brainwashing, But we have to be ready to stand. We have to come together as a people. We have to, I'm going to say this, and I feel like I want this to set with the people who come on this live later and the people who are on here now. We have to do better at breathing. We have to do better at meditating. We have to do better at centering ourselves and taking care of ourselves so that when we're communicating with other people, we can radiate on a different frequency because our frequency has the ability to change our circumstances. Through meditation, through breathing, through taking care of ourselves, through mindfulness, through thoughtfulness. Again, taking care of ourselves, feeding ourselves quality, food, making sure that we're eating fruits and vegetables and drinking, water, not just purified water, but you know, coconut water. Trying to find a watermelon that actually have seeds in it, even though all of it's been tampered with. Like Mata said the other day, it's all been tampered with. I've started drinking okra water. My Mata got me on the okra water, and it's slimy like aloe vera drink, but it's very good. Hey Hazel Dior. It's slimy, but I started putting the okra in the water like she told me to do, and I cut a little piece of lemon up in it, and so staying hydrated, making sure that we are eating properly, making sure that we're getting proper rest, making sure that we are meditating, making sure that we are praying, to whomever it is that we pray to, making sure that we're centering ourselves and taking care of ourselves so that we can shift the frequency around us, so that we can be a light in these chaotic and shadowy spaces, so that we can represent that light, and so that that light could be contagious, and so that when we enter into these, we won't be moved by the manipulation, we won't be moved by the exploitation, and we'll be able to cause a shift. We preparing for a shift in consciousness, because again, these tricks that they've been doing and these schemes they've been doing, they time is running out, and they counting on us to stay ignorant. They counting on us to stay divided. They counting on us to stay at odds with each other, because when we come together, we are going to shift. We're going to walk up in these spaces, and we're not going to be able to be triggered. We're not going to be able to be controlled. We're not going to be able to be manipulated. We're not going to be able to be exploited. And we're going to be able to discern when smoke is being blowed in our face, and we're going to be able to do like Neo did in the Matrix. And when they throwing all of that stuff at us, we're going to be, And we're going to be able to stay focused on the things. We're going to be able to stay focused on the things that are going to move us past all of this now. And let's be clear. Everybody can't go. Everybody's not meant to be elevated. Everybody's not meant for that next phase. There's going to be collateral damage. There are going to be people who going to go. They talk about it in the Bible about how, they walked around in the wilderness and some of them made it to that land, but some of them died off. Some of them did not make it. And that's just the reality. Everybody don't want to go. Some people want to stay right where they are. And that's unfortunate. But that's also a reality. But all of us don't have to. And so this video is for the ones who are ready to do that work that is going to help us to confront these institutions, to confront these establishments in a way that we can actually create a shift. And we don't have to continue to accept this dog food that they've been giving us, these scraps that have been falling off the table. Just tell her to use Matthew 19:12. It shuts them up every time they don't want to talk about it. Oh, I know they do because they hate when you bring up the eunuchs. Okra water and meditation. What a combination. Be the light and love. Yes. They tried to say it's a sin to be black because Noah having an argument with his black son. Would you agree that that's a civil matter and none of our business? They want to make excuses to hate us. Yeah. I mean, but we fall into it. Focus on policies of love. Let everyone's needs be met. Let's do that work. What sweeps away the crap and makes the changes that we envision. I love that. Focus on the policies of love. Let everyone's needs be met. Let's do that work, sweep away the scraps, and makes the changes that we envision. Acknowledging everybody, and when we start to meditate and practice meditation and taking care of ourselves, we won't get caught up in a greedy and gluttonous spirit. It'll help to give us balance because meditation is food. Meditation is spiritual sustenance. And if your spirit is full, your belly not going to be as hungry. Amen, a woman. When you full in here, and when you full in here, it really helps you to not desire so much material things. When you have peace in here and peace in here, you don't feel the need to take over and conquer. And so that's why that internal work is so important. Because as long as it's empty in here and empty in here, you're going to keep trying to fill that with material things. And guess what? You're never going to feel it that way. It's never going to happen. Never going to happen. Never going to happen. A man, a woman, spiritual food sustains. Absolutely. Absolutely. So I want to dedicate this video to the people who have died during this election process, during this selection process. I want to dedicate this video to the lives and the souls that have been jeopardized and compromised and don't even get the public exploitation, don't even get the press. I want to dedicate this video to our ancestors who suffered and died for a change that we're still waiting on to this day. A man, a woman. I lit a candle earlier today, but if y'all want to light a candle later this evening, I'll light another one before I go to bed. I'm not finna move out from in front of the camera because, like I told y'all, I'm in the buff. I know that's right, George. You put it in layman's terms, huh? I love y'all. Y'all have a beautiful evening, and y'all take care of y'allself and meditate, meditate, eat, eat, eat to live and don't live to eat. Build your discipline, build your faith, build your spirituality, and move from love. And give people the space to figure out who they are while you stay on your journey. A man, a woman, I love you. Until next time, be well. Purple ones, rise up.